Norman McLaren here. Yes? Yes, and you? Yes, it was very nice indeed. Just excuse me one moment. You want me to stop? Could I call you back? Because they're right in the middle of shooting me, in the middle of a take. So I'll call you back when the shooting is over.
This year, when Hollywood awarded one of its coveted Oscars to a Canadian film, a lot of people began to ask questions about the Scots-Canadian artist who had made it. Magazines had articles about the film artist and his unorthodox approach to filmmaking. Sometimes he made film directly by painting the pictures onto it instead of photographing them as most filmmakers do. Different as all his films have been, they've one thing in common. They showed a new approach that provoked many questions. The artist's name is Norman McLaren. Now, Norman, first of all, tell us whether you're a Scot or a Canadian.
Well, I feel a Canadian. I've done most of my work here. I'm an employee of the National Film Board of Canada, and this is my home. But I was born in Stirling, Scotland, of course, and at the Glasgow School of Art, a group of art students formed an amateur film club, and it was there that I started.
Everything that I was doing, like sculpture, painting, drawing, was stationary and didn't move. And I felt I wanted to work in something that moved. In my teens, I became aware of music and got excited about jazz. I'd always been interested in making animated films, and somehow it came naturally to me to want to use jazz because it was the most exciting experience musically, and I wanted to sort of interpret it or accompany it with visuals.
Normal filmmaking, everybody knows there's an elaborate series of optical, chemical, and mechanical processes, and these stand between the artist and his finished work. How much simpler it is for a painter and his canvas. So I decided to throw away the camera and instead work straight on the film with pens and inks, brushes and paint. If I don't like what I do, I use a damp cloth, rub it out, and begin again.
Initially, at the beginning of a film, I do a lot of thinking. In fact, when I'm really generating the ideas for a new film, I'm thinking about it practically all the time, in my sleep even, I think. I visualize movement. They might be abstract shapes, or they could be symbolic kind of shapes. It's the way they move, the way they swirl or curl or tremble or slow down, accelerate or pause. And that's really why I'm in film. It's the motion that I'm in love with manipulating. All film is a kind of illusion, movement, but animation consists in a film where you can stop between any frame of film and the next frame of film and make a controlled adjustment.
It's quite possible for anyone who has some old film and brushes and paints to make a short animated film. And it's an idea that brings animated filmmaking down to the level of home handicrafts. I tried to use music and sound effects as a type of commentary in an international language by drawing directly on film soundtrack, using just a pen and ink. The result was a kind of music. Now, the number of strokes controls the pitch of the note. The size of the stroke controls the loudness. And the tone quality or timbre is made by the particular shape of the stroke. Of course, all this is at a very early stage of experiment. It's far from perfect, but it's a new possibility.
I have a perpetual curiosity about new possibilities in the field of filmmaking. My mind often starts with a new technical possibility, and after a number of tests and trials, I will often hit upon something that has the seeds for further development.
If all my films were to be destroyed, except one, I would prefer to have Neighbors, because it has a strong social message about the irrationality of using violence. It's a human statement which reveals human nature.
I would like to be remembered by having made some films that touched people greatly, or melted them, or moved them in some way, or excited them.